Good day, I am Elder Scott Burgos, and I am here today with Mr. Alan Larioza, a music teacher and choral conductor. So, Mr. Larioza, do you think that the Constitution must be amended? Why or why not?
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to declare that I sincerely believe that there is no need to amend our current Constitution. According to the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, the President has the executive power and he also can supervise the other branches of the government. For me, that in itself sounds good. It gives the President enough power to know everything that is happening within the country and the government and act quickly when issues arise. Another thing is that it is hard to trust other officials from any branch of government. So, with the President's executive power, he will be able to have control over any other officials.
Good day, I am Elder Scott Burgos, and I am here today with Mr. Alan Larioza, a music teacher and choral conductor. So, Mr. Larioza, do you think that the Constitution must be amended? Why or why not?
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to declare that I sincerely believe that there is no need to amend our current Constitution. According to the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, the President has the executive power and he also can supervise the other branches of the government. For me, that in itself sounds good. It gives the President enough power to know everything that is happening within the country and the government and act quickly when issues arise. Another thing is that it is hard to trust other officials from any branch of government. So, with the President's executive power, he will be able to have control over any other officials.
Hello and good morning. I just want to ask if do you agree on changing the Constitution of the Philippines?
No.
Why is that?
Okay lang bang magtagalog ako?
Sige lang po.
Sige. Para sa akin, okay lang naman na hindi palitan ang konstitusyon. Dahil ang may problema lang naman ay ang mga botante at politiko. May mga politiko na ang hangarin naman mapabuti ang bansa natin. Pero may mga politiko na paulit-ulit lang na ihahalal na dekada nang nakaupo sa gobyerno. Pero wala naman na itutulong sa bansa natin. Na puro pansariling interes lang naman nila ang iniisip. Iniisip na ang alam ay puro reklamo at kontra, pero wala namang maibigay na solusyon.
Salamat po sa opinion and patayin ko na po yung recording.
Okay, salamat.
So, good evening. I am John Benedict Esmamuat, a mechanical engineering student, and I am here to talk about the 1987 Constitutional Law of the Philippines. And thank you for coming today. And my first question is, what do you know about the 1987 Constitutional Law?
Actually, the 1987, maganda yan. Actually, when we talk about the 1987 Constitution, it is one of the most beautiful, no? Most beautiful constitution or even, let's say, tinatawag siyang Bible ng paggawa ng batas. Eh. Diba? This is the Bible of how do we create a law. And this is something na ang ganda ng framework. Diba? Maganda framework niya from chapter article 1 up to the last article. Maganda ang framework nito. Even the other constitutional commission, the tinatawag natin. Maganda yan. So when we talk about the 1987 constitutions, basically I have a knowledge, not basically expertise about it, but from studying law, I know that I have at least not on the surface, not on the deep, but on the deeper perspective. on how will I look? How do I look at it on the 1987 Constitution? So,
Oh, thank you for that insight. My next question is, what are the pros and cons of the constitutional law?
ayun. So basically, tulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, maganda kasi ang framework ng Constitution natin. All of the laws, all of the even constitutions have different pros and cons. Always remember that. But the pros and cons will reflect kung sino yung nagpapatupad nito. Hindi doon sa framework mismo makikita mo yung pros and cons. There's a lot of loophole in the 1987 Constitution, given such that hindi na na-observe, no? For example, the let's say in the legislative department, hindi na preserve yung tinatawag nating tests for a valid law or a good law. 'Di ba? Kasi kung makikita naman natin, there are a lot of laws na pinapasa ng Senate and ng Congress na hindi naman ganun kaganda, no? Masakit mang isipin, masakit mang tanggapin, hindi naman siya ganun kaganda. But the point that I'm saying is that the Constitution, the framework of it, lahat yan nilatag ng napakaganda. Nagbabago lang naman ang perspective, nagbabago lang naman ang pagtanggap, nagbabago lang naman kung paano to tinitignan ng tao dahil sa kung paano to pinapatupad. Diba, for example, ang ganda ng Constitution natin, for example, in terms of our Bill of Rights pa lang, napakaganda na ng Constitution natin. Diba, Article 1, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, and property without due process of law. So, nandun pa lang, meron na agad tayong rights na hindi tayo pwedeng basta huli-hulihan or hindi tayo pwedeng, for example, during the time of martial law, na pwede tayong hulihin na hindi natin alam kung bakit tayo hinuhuli. What I'm saying here is that para sa akin, walang pros, walang cons ang Constitution. It's neutral. Diba? It is for the people. Ginawa to para sa mga tao. Ginawa to para sa mamamayan. Nagkakaroon lang naman ng negatibong epekto, negatibong labas ang Constitution dahil hindi ito nasasabuhay ng kung sino yung mga nakaupo. Di ba kahit sabihin natin may mga batas tayo, meron pa rin tayong Constitution. However, the point here is, example na lang dyan, is the human rights itself. The human rights itself. Yung let's say the Opland Tokhang, the Opland double barrel na tinatawag nila, it is unconstitutional. Why? Because, or let's say the anti-terror law, both of them are unconstitutional. Why? Because you're red tag. Because kapag nailagay ka sa watchlist, you don't have, possible na mawala yung right mo to life, liberty, and property without due process. Mawawala yun. Why? Because you're already tagged eh. Masama ka na sa tingin ng mga tao. Maganda yung constitution natin. Ang problema lang, the pro is the constitution itself, the cons is those the person or those officials that implement this the laws and the constitution itself.
Thank you for that. You said earlier that the constitutional law is neutral, sir, right? My question is, in your perspective, is it do you amend it, or do you think that there is a better way or better system for the an improvement for the constitutional law, or there isn't, like federalism or other systematic laws?
In terms of amendment, John Benedict, no? In terms of it, and improve, the only thing na gusto kong i-improve, or the only thing na nakikita kong pwedeng i-improve in our constitution is to the two branches of the government. Hindi na natin sasama yung judiciary dyan. No? Saan doon, sir? In terms of what we call the qualifications. The qualifications. Di ba? For example, the qualifications of a president, di ba? In the Constitution, 40 years old, Filipino citizen, able to read and write, di ba? But that means everyone can run. Everyone can run, but minsan meron kasi mga tao, we have the quantity of persons who will run for the positions of president, vice president, senators, and into the Congress. That's it. But the point here is this, di ba? Kung papatakbuhin lang natin ang papatakbuhin ang mga tao, tignan mo yung nangyayari sa election. Di ba? Andiyan si Rastaman, di ba?
Opo.
Dati, andiyan si Alan Carion, di ba?
Manny Pacquiao.
It is funny. Di ba? It is funny for other people. But if we're going to look at it on a deeper perspective, what if yung mga taong akala biro lang yung pagtakbo ng mga tao na yun, yun yung nanay? Ano yung magiging kinabukasan natin? Who knows? But the point here is, kung ang mga tao nga, di ba nagiging meme na nga lang to eh. Kung yung mga tao nga na nag-a-apply sa trabaho, kailangan ng NBI clearance. Di ba bakit yung mga corrupt nakaupo? Bakit yung mga magnanakaw nakaupo? Di ba bakit yung may mga kaso nakaupo? Di ba? To give a few examples, andyan si Senator Bong Revilla. Di ba nakasuhan ng graft and corruption pero nanalo pa rin. Di ba another thing na gusto kong baguhin dito is, for example, sa mga party list. The party list representatives. Diba? Saan ba kinasal itong, I forgot kung saan kinasal, naging issue to eh. Kasi one of the criterias and qualifications of being a party list representative is you must be a bona fide member. That is not in the Constitution, but it is in the law. It is in the law na derived from the Constitution. But being a bona fide member, sinabi nyo dun, the 30 days, or 90 days rather, 90 days dapat kasama mo yung sector na yun. For example, let me just look it up, no, or for example, ito lang, si Mikey Arroyo. Mikey Arroyo, no? Mikey Arroyo became a sector representative of the sector for security guards. But Mikey Arroyo, never siya naging security guard. The point here is, kung ang batas natin, ang constitution natin, para yan sa ikabubuti ng mga tao. Dun yan. Pero the more na dumadami at the more na binabaliwala yung ibang or yung deeper perspective kasi ng constitution, the more na hindi siya may implement na maayos. Ngayon, ang gusto ko lang sabihin dito, saan ba magsisimula yung pag-i-implement ng Constitution? Di ba doon sa mga batas that has been derived from the Constitution? Sino gagawa ng mga batas na yun? Di ba the Legislative Department? Sino mag-a-approve ng mga batas na yun? Di ba the Executive Department? Now, the thing here is, dapat yung qualifications nila, di ba, mas pataasin pa natin. Dapat nga mas mataas yung qualifications nila eh. Ang problema dito, magnanakaw, nakaupo. Di ba? Yung hindi natin alam, di ba? For example, let's say si Bongo, di ba? I will drop name, okay? So, for example siya, he said that he authored a bill, but he doesn't know what's in that bill. Naging usap-usapan siya doon. Di ba naging mukhang katatawanan yung Senate hearing nila doon? Ngayon, kung hindi natin tataasan yung qualifications ng mga gustong tumakbo, hindi tataas yung qualifications ng mga Pilipino sa gusto nilang iboto. Lagi natin hinihiling taasan natin qualifications ng mga boboto. Pero hindi naman lahat ng tao kayang tignan yun. Nataasan yung perspective nila. Now, for me, yun lang. Yung improvement na kailangan dito is for the qualifications of those who wants to run for that certain position. Now, the next question na sinabi mo kanina is if it can be changed to federalism, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Actually, wala akong ibang nakikita pang maganda na ipapalit sa constitution natin. Di ba? Democratic tayo, presidential tayo, di ba? Maganda na eh. Ang ganda na ng format natin. May co-equal branches nga tayo eh. Di ba? Hindi lang isang branch ang nagpapagalaw ng lahat. Kumbaga lahat, meron silang co-equal shares sa gagawin ng isa. Ngayon, kung papalitan natin yan, magsisimula na naman ng bago. Bakit hindi na lang natin i-improve yung quality ng kung ano yung meron tayo kesa baguhin natin. Why? Kasi etong may problema nga, papalitan mo, paano kung magkaroon pa ng problema yan? 1987 pa yung constitution natin, 1987 pa yan na ipatupad, di ba? 1987 up to 2021, ang tagal na panahon nang nandito yung constitution natin. Bakit kailangan mo pang baguhin? Yung 1935, bakit, or 1973, 1935, bakit ba nabago yan? Di ba dahil may anomalyang naganap? Noong 1987, onwards up to 2021, di ba hindi na siya nababago? Why? Kasi maganda yung pagkaka-frame niya, maganda yung pagkakagawa niya. Kung mag-iisip tayo ng other thing na ipapalit natin dito, ang sagot ko wala. Kasi hindi the only way para hindi natin baguhin to is ipatupad to ng tama. Ganon ko siya nakikita.
So it is safe to say, sir, na that the 1987 Philippine Constitutional Law, you agree with those terms, and that the only thing need to change is the standards of people to the political system or the politicians.
Not basically the standards of the citizens, but the standard of those who want to run. Kasi tingnan mo, di ba? Ang dami na election, ang dami nating nasayang na presidente. Di ba? Not basically presidente, but what do you call this? Government officials. Andiyan si Miriam dati, nung kay Fidel V. Ramos. Di ba? Ang dami ni. Andiyan si Chel Joke nung nakaraan. At buti, tumakbo ulit ngayon. Nericol Minares, to name a few. Ang dami na natin nasaya. Ngayon, kung ang mga Pilipino mananatili doon sa nagbubudot, sa nagnanakaw naman, doon sa nagpapaselfie lang, doon sa nagpapa-oplan double barrel, mauulit at mauulit yung ganitong senaryo natin. Now, kailangan magsimula to sa pagbabago ng qualifications at pagpapataas ng qualifications ng mga tatakbo. Hindi mo naman masisisi yung mga tao kung sino iboboto nila. Hindi mo sila masisisi. Why? Kasi yun yung pinaniniwalaan nila. But the thing here is, kung tataasan natin yung qualifications ng mga tumatakbo, possible na yung mga susunod na generations, tataas din ang way of thinking, ang level of thinking nila, ang critical analysis nila doon sa government or sa tumatakbo into a certain position. Di ba? For example, nagsimula nga lang, let's say, sa mga barabarangay. Sa mga barabarangay sino ang nananalo? Di ba? Yung mga kakilala ni ganito, kakilala ni ganyan. Di ba? So paano pa sa national elections? Maganda ang constitution natin, Benedict. Ako, I'm proud to say that maganda ang constitution. Hindi tatagal ng ilang dekada kung hindi maganda pagkakagawa dyan. Para sa akin, walang kailangan baguhin dito. Kailangan baguhin yung pagpapatupad at yung qualifications. Yun lang. Pero kung sasabihin, may magsasabi na, i-ano mo ang federalism, i-ano mo ang ganyan. The thing here is, alam ba nila ang ibig sabihin ng federalism? Other people know the surface level of federalism. And always remember na ang constitution natin, na-uphold niyan ang democracy. And I will say this to you, like nung sinasabi ng ng professor ko sa akin, democracy only works for people who are willing to fight for it. Yun lang yung end statement ko. Because maganda talaga, democracy should be upheld. And democracy will work for those who who are willing to fight for it.
Thank you so much, sir, for that very personal and brief insight about the 1987 Constitutional Law. So good evening. I'm John Benedict S. Mamuad. I am a mechanical engineering in Mapua University, and I'm here to talk about the 1987 Constitutional Law of the Philippines. Thank you for coming today, Ma'am Jean. And my first question is to you is, what do you know about the constitutional law?
Okay. So, again, good evening. What I know about the 1987 Constitution is it was presented to President Corazon Aquino. And it was uh, the constitution up to now, our constitution up to now. Um, it it has the purpose of, or the main goal of this 1987 constitution is to secure the sovereignty of the state and the integrity of the national territory. So also it vested the executive power on the on the president of the Philippines. The president of the Philippines shall be the head of state and the head of the government, and functions as the commander in chief of the armed forces of the Philippines. So, and what I like about this 1987 constitution is it supported that there will be three branches of the government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislative. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful answer. My next question to you is, what are the pros and cons of the our 1987 constitutional law?
Okay. So, again, I think the advantage of the 1987 Constitution is it has supported the balance of our government. Um, our government is love democracy. So it supported the balance of the branches of our government. Again, we have the judiciary, executive led by the president, judiciary by the Supreme Court, and legislative by the Congress, who are creating these laws. Um, the good thing about this is there are a lot of uh, people involved. So, sabi nga nila, many heads are better than one. So, I think this is there is a balance because we have this democracy. So that's the goal of democracy, to give the power to the people by having the three representation of the people, having these three branches. Um, I think the cons or the disadvantage of this 1987 Constitution is, um, as we know, it was created in 1980, crafted in 1980s. So it's been almost uh 30, 40 decades. So maybe we need some changes, we need some improvements, we need to revisit, because not maybe not all the laws are applicable to with our current uh, status as a government. So as we have problems before, maybe that problem are no longer um that no longer present in these days. So we should be revisiting that 1987 constitution. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Um, in your opinion, do you amend the Philippine Constitution or not, and why?
Uh, if there will be, I think, as I said earlier, the cons is it was too old, and um many things are happening daily. Filipinos are changing. Our country is changing, and we need to adapt with those changes. For example, um, there are a lot of problems that we do not have laws. For example, we have this cyber crime. We don't have laws about that yet. There are We have now the apps. bring up the economy in the concept of the in the aspect of digital assets. So we don't have the authority. We don't have authority who will be uh managing, who will be controlling, who will be helping the people on investing in the new investment in in the this new in this new assets. So I think we should have amendments to what is being in need. What do we need? What are the relevant thing? Uh, what are the problems now? So there should be an amendment for us to improve, for us to have a better laws that protect the people and support the people. Thank you.
Thank you for that insight, ma'am. Since you agree that certain laws should be amended, do you think that the best way the Philippine constitutional law should be changed, like constitutional to federalism? Do you think that is applicable, or do you also agree with that federalism?
Okay. Actually, I just heard this federalism from our current president because he is very vocal. Our president, Rodrigo Duterte, is being vocal about this federalism, wherein I he wants to adopt the federalism. He wants the Philippines to have this kind of government system because as he says, as I said before, this will be a solution for the in achieving the peace and development in some conflict afflicted area in Mindanao, and also he wants to decentralize the power of Manila. But I think the federalism also has a system wherein a l- a certain a certain or particular place will be managed or will be controlled by the two levels of government, national and then local or region. So these two levels of government will have certain authority, certain power from the from that particular place. For example, in Mandaluyong, if we will have this federalism, I think um the national we will here in Mandaluyong we will recognize the power of national, but also we will have this LGU, local government, wherein the LGU will be the one will be having a power to corrupt our own laws, our own economic system here. But then this LGU will support also the national by in terms of revenue. So the LGU will give a portion of our income as a city to the national to support the national. So it's a good and it's a great idea actually to eradicate the long lasting problem of graft and corruption, because um the problem is the money, the budget is being handed by from the national level going to the lower level of our government. So some would say to the from the uh, barangay level, some kapitan will say that we have no budget, we we didn't receive a budget from this national. So think those things will not be problem anymore. But as we go to federalism, I think we should also be be wary of there will be also changes in how we elect our candidates, our leaders, because even the laws are good, even the system are good, but when we elect people, when we elect leaders that not are really truthful, not being honest, and doesn't want public service but only their self-vested interests, I think this will also fail. So that's why I think federalism is good, but we should also be focusing in electing good and honest and capable leaders who will implement this federalism, or if ever we will have these changes. But if if we don't have that changes, wala pa ring mangyayari, I think.
Yes po,
Okay.
depende po talaga sa magiging um, president po lahat, no? Hindi naman po sa
Yes.
tao.
Opo.
Thank you very much for that insight. I have gained a lot of learnings from you from this simple interview. Thank you again.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am John Benedict Esmamuad, and I am here to talk about the 1987 Constitutional Law of the Philippines. And thank you for coming today for this interview. And I would like to ask, what is your what do you know about the 1987 Philippine Constitutional Law?
Ang pagkakaalam ko lang kasi, nabuo yun, may nakapun na si, Cory Aquino. And para yan sa, para sa freedom, di ba? Para magkaroon ng human rights sa mga tao. Yung law about human rights.
Thank you. Thank you for that answer. Well, ano po yung sa tingin niyo po yung masamang epekto at mabubuting epekto ng constitutional law sa ating bansa?
Mabuti naman, di ba? Kasi may batas naman about sa individual and yun nga, yung human rights. Pero parang may kulang pa din kasi hindi siya ganun, ano ba, hindi pa siya ganun ka close kasi marami pang kulang. Sa ngayon, kasi ano na, di ba, masyadong ano na eh. Pero kung noon, okay lang kasi parang mabilis ang gawa ng siya.
Konti lang po yung problema nun po, no?
Oo. Kasi noon, konti lang yung dapat intindihin.
Opo.
Kaya ngayon, mas marami na eh.
Mas complex
Mas
na.
malawak.
Parang nag-hybrid na yung mga problems natin kasi yung technology, yung cultural
yun.
natin sa ibang bansa, no po.
Saka yung mga gumagawa ng crimes, diba? Noon, hindi mo pakita na bata. May mga bata na. Ngayon, kasi bata pa, may gamit na sa mga, sa mga crime.
Sa mga ano pa?
Sa mga sa mga crimes.
Crimes?
Criminal kaso ng droga, may mga bata na na-involve.
Yung dati po, yung mga bata po, mga matatanda po most usually po nagdodroga, and now since na medyo naapektahan na rin po yung bata, kailangan na rin po gawa ng bagong law para dun po, no?
Tsaka yung technology natin ngayon, mas marami.
Mga scamming, mga ganun po. Oo nga po. Cyber law.
Kaya kung noon, okay lang siya. Pabor ka pa. Pero
Kasi,
yung sa ngayon, parang kulang na.
Opo. So my next question is, do you amend the constitutional law today?
Alin, yung pagbabago kung ano, pabor ako, ganun.
Yes, kung agree pa rin po ba kayo sa constitutional law na pinapatakbo ng gobyerno ngayon or hindi na po?
Ano, sa ngayon, yung, oo, actually, hindi ko siya masagot ng ano. Kasi parang, ano eh, may point na agree na ito. Hindi ako.
Halimbawa po,
Siguro hindi na agree yun. Hindi na ako agree.
opo.
Kasi kailangan na siyang ano, kailangan na siyang dagdagan or kailangan na siyang baguhin para maging mas ano na, mas smooth and or systemized parang ganun. Yung ano, yung
Halimbawa po,
constitution.
yung sa binabalita po ngayon, yung sila pinapatakbo po si Sara Duterte po. Kapag tumakbo po si ano si Bato po, Senator Bato po. Pwede pong palit siya kay Sara, which is after na po ng voting. So, mga ganun pong bagay hindi po kayo agree dun sa pagpapalit ng mga pwesto.
Siyempre hindi. Kasi, ano eh, actually dyan sila nagkakapera. Baka dyan nga sila nagkakapera. Kasi, di ba, ano, bakit niya ibibigay sa isang tao na hindi naman niya yung ipinangalan, na pinasa? Diba siya yung ano ng pagka-president, di ba?
Opo,
Kasi
presidency.
papasa niya kay Sara.
Oo nga po.
Di ba? Parang ginawa nilang business yung pagiging presidential.
Opo. So, mga ganun pong law kailangan pumabago ngayon, no? Kasi po under po siya sa constitutional law.
Sino yung nagpasa ng ano, na papers file for presidency, dapat siya yung ano, siya yung tumakbo. Panindigan niya.
Opo.
Parang ganun, di ba?
Opo. My last question is federalism. Federalism is the systematic way of halimbawa po each city po meron po silang parang local government po na national government. So do you agree that dapat maging federalism na yung law natin, like para mas efficient, mas maano kaysa sa constitutional law kung saan naka-centralize lahat ng tax natin, ng law natin sa isang government lamang? Alin po kayo, agree po ba kayo dun or no?
Agree naman. Kasi ano eh, magkakaroon sila ng pagbabago. So, kasi diba, pagka hindi siya federalismo, naka-centralize or nationalize yung ano, yung mga laws and yung budgets. Parang mas ano, pabor ako sa kanya kasi pagdating sa budget contributions. Kasi kung about sa dito sa atin sa Luzon, may budget tayo sarili. Tapos si Mindanao and Visayas, magkakaroon din sila ng budget sa sarili na hindi na dapat dalawin pa ng iba or questionin or hindi na sila magsasabing na wala silang budget. Kasi naka-distributed na annually for a year, di ba? So hindi na sila makakagawa ng mga projects na dagdag bawas kasi ano na siya, parang dito, ano na siya, yung may total na yung pagpasa nila ng budget. Hindi na yun pwedeng madagdagan pa. Kumbaga magkakaroon ng less corruption. Kasi yung mga local na mismo yung
distribute po.
handle ng nila ng budget. Parang mas konting tao ang involved. Tapos magiging parang mas madali lang siyang intindihan.
Opo. Okay po. Thank you for that answers po. For about the for telling us that the federalism can be used for efficiency and distribution for budget and capitalism. Thank you po.
Good day.
I am Martin Tabirao, an engineering student from Mapua University, and I am here to ask your thoughts about the 1987 Constitution. Firstly, what do you know about the 1987 Constitutional Law?
Well, yung 1987 Constitution was established after EDSA Revolution. Okay? That is during the administration of Cory Aquino. Kaya sometimes it was called Cory's Constitution din.
Are you in favor of amending the Constitution?
Yes.
Why?
Kasi I believe na ang ating present constitution is not enough. It's impeding the development of our country.
If you are in favor of amending the Constitution, which provision or provisions do you think should be changed?
I believe yung yung provision regarding sa our form of government. I particularly believe na yung parliamentary form of government is more acceptable dito sa ating society, Philippine society. So from presidential to parliamentary. Kasi sa presidential, there's so many, may senador, 2 houses of Congress, Senate and Congress, tapos executive, legislative. So, parang ang daming red tape pagpapasa ng batas, necessary batas. That's why yung mga kailangan natin batas to have our development, especially sa mga economic provisions ng batas, ang hirap ipasa. Ang daming matalino dito sa Pilipinas. So, yun. Doon tayo nagkakagulo-gulo. Kaya ito, hanggang ngayon, we are left behind by our neighboring countries like Vietnam, Singapore. Ngayon, baka malagpasan na rin tayo ng Burma o Laos. So, I believe mas dun sa parliamentary form of government. Kung may idea ka sa parliamentary form of government, yun ay isang House Congressman, tapos mga ministers yun mga Prime Minister, Minister of Education, mga ganun. Yung inabot ko kasi, panahon ni President Marcos. Mga Minister, imbis na Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Education, hindi, Minister of Education, Minister of Defense, gano'n.
That's all. Thank you. Good day. I am Martin Tabirao, an engineering student from Mapua University, and I am here to ask your thoughts about the 1987 Constitution. Firstly, what do you know about the 1987 Constitutional Law?
The 1987 Constitutional Law is revised 1935 Constitution.
Are you in favor of amending the Constitution?
Yes.
Why?
Because the economic condition of our country.
If you are in favor of amending the Constitution, which provision or provisions do you think should be changed?
The national economic provision, because foreign investors can own only 40% of the company. That's why the investors think twice before putting up business here in the Philippines.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.